Everyone, today we are going to do a new lesson, quality. It's a small story which throws light on a topic that we should all think about. The story is written by John Galsworthy, who was an English novelist and playwright. From some of the awards that he has got, you can understand that he was truly a literary genius. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1932. So let's go to the lesson. When you use the word quality, what are the words that come to your mind? What are the qualities that come to your mind? Suppose you're buying a cloth, a dress, a shoe, a bag, anything. We all would love to have things which have quality so that they would last longer. It's durable. It's something that gives good performance. We know that we can get the best performance out of it. It should be something that is good, that can last long, that has all the required features that we want. So there are so many qualities that we look forward to when we think of quality in a person also. Let's suppose we give a work to a person, we expect that person to do it with sincerity and perfection. That's a person of quality, that's a work of quality, and that's what we would like to have. Okay, this particular story, it is narrated by a young man, and he is speaking about two shoemakers. They're called the Gessler brothers. So from the time he was very young, he knew these people because he used to go there with his father. His father's boots were made by them. So there are two brothers, one whom he knows well, and his elder brother who live in a shop, and who work in the shop, and the shop is in a by street. By street means a smaller lane, a smaller street in a fashionable part of London. So it's in a place where there are a lot of people go and all, but of course, though it's in a by street, it's in one of the important parts of London. And when you look at it, there is no great advertisement over it, that there's discount offer, these kinds of things that we see. Nothing, just the name of the two brothers on it. And that gives it a kind of dignity. Just the name, Gessler Brothers. And if you look in the window, you can see a few pairs of boots. Now, it's not that it's full of boots. You can't find a very large display because he only makes what is ordered. He doesn't make many boots and keep it ready there. And if he makes a boot, it will always be perfect. We have had so many experiences where we have bought footwear and it is pinched us. We have had pain because of it, or it's not comfortable. But here that's not the case. If he makes a boot, it will always be comfortable. And once when he had gone to meet him, he slowly put his foot out and asked, "Isn't it very hard, Mr. Gessler, to make such perfect boots?" So that man replies, "It is an art." That's because he's not originally an Englishman, and that's why his language is slightly different. So it is an art. That's what he's trying to say. So the boy feels it's very wonderful to make boots. And we couldn't go very often to him. Why couldn't we go? Because when he makes boots, they last very long. So long that by the time you have buying the next boot, a lot of days will have been over. And when we went in, we don't go as if we're going to shop to buy something, but as if it's a very holy place, like a church. And we go and we sit there and wait. We don't, call out or we wait impatiently. Okay, why isn't a man coming here? Why isn't there someone to cater to us? Nothing like that. We'll wait. Then you can hear a sound. Then his boots, as he's coming down the stairs, they'll be working up and stairs, and when they see us, they come down. And then he'll go back and I'll continue to wait there, and I'll get the incense of the street, the smell of leather and boots. And then he'll come back with a golden brown leather with his eyes fixed on it. He would say, "Oh, it is such a beautiful piece. And when do you want it?" So I'll say, "As soon as you conveniently can." Then if he will say, "Okay, tomorrow fortnight," that's after 15 days. And if his elder brother is there, his elder brother will say, "I'll ask my brother and tell you." So it's the younger brother who's more important. And this boy will say, "Thank you," and no. And this way, once what happened? Just once, this man, he made a complaint. "See, the last pair of boots you made creaked." That is when you're walking, they make a sound. So that man is surprised. He says, "It couldn't have creaked." Then this boy says, "I'm sorry, it did." Then he's saying, "Are you sure that it is from here itself?" He said, "Yes." and then you do one thing, you bring them back, send them back, let's bring them back, I will look at them. And some boots, they are bad from birth. Some boots are like that, you can't do anything of them. I'll try to repair it, and if I'm not able to repair it, I'll take it off your bill, I'll repay the money for it. And he looked at me for some time, hoping that I'll say, no, it was not your pair of boots, or something like that I'll say. Then he felt very bad. Okay, something which I've made is not good enough. He can't bear that thought at all. And again he went off, ready to make the next pair of boots. And only once he went into his shop wearing boots which he had bought from somewhere else. And every time he shows me leather and asks me whether you want this leather or not and all. That day he didn't ask anything like that. He just said, okay, I'm going to make the boots and all. Then after some time, he spoke to me. And when he spoke to me, the tone was not of anger, of sorrow or anything. But, there was something in that tone which made me feel very sad. He touched the part of the boot and says, see here, it's not comfortable, no? And my boy replies, yes. He says, those are not my boots, no? And then, as if something within him broke, he started expressing all his sorrow. He's saying, those big firms, actually it's firms, they don't have any self-respect. These big firms which make shoes, they don't have any self-respect. And they get all the trade because they have advertisement. They don't work hard. They give advertisements and everyone buys them. And we love our boots. We love to do our work. But we don't get customers because all see advertisements and go after them. And it has come to this condition that I don't have any work at all. Every year I get less and less work. And when I looked at his face, that time I noticed that there were so many lines on his face, so many grey hair, that suddenly he seems to have become old. And I tried to explain, see, that these boots I bought in a hurry. It was not because I don't want your boots. It was by chance and all that. But I felt very sad for him, and so I ordered many boots. So many boots that they lasted for 2 years, more than 2 years, and I couldn't go to him in time. After many months, when I went, I saw him and I thought it was the elder brother. But then I realized it was he himself. As he has become so aged because of his worries, because of his problems. Then he asks, how are you? He says, I'm fine, but my brother is dead. I'm ready. Well, pretty well, he means. So the boy feels sorry for him and he's saying, yes, he was a good man, but he's dead. Do you want any boots? I have got beautiful piece of leather. And when I looked at him, I felt so sad. I could feel that, his elder brother has died because of hard work. Again, I ordered several boots, and it was after a lot of time that I got the boots. It took a lot of time. And after that, I went abroad. Then when I returned, first thing I did is I went to the shop. And when I went there, I saw that man is looking so old. It's just 1 year. But now when I see him, earlier he had looked 60 and now he looks 75. And he didn't recognize me also. He said, do you want any boots? I can make them quickly. It's a slack time. So sad he is. Before he used to say, okay, when do you want them? I'll make them and all. Now, because he has no other way of surviving, he's saying, I'll make as quickly as possible. I don't have any business. So this boy, again this man, now he's become a man. He feels very sad. He orders several pairs of boots. Again, it took a very long time to come. He actually even forgotten that he had ordered it properly. And when they came, they were all perfect, the best shoes he had ever got. Immediately he wrote a check, posted it, and after 1 week, when he was going through that way, he thought, okay, I'll go and just speak to him. I'll tell him, see how lovely your boots are. Maybe he'll feel better. And when I went there was, the shop was not there. There was some other shop and another man. So I asked him, is Mr. Gessler there? Can I meet him? Then he says, no, but we can give you whatever you want. We can give you whatever shoe you like. But Mr. Gessler is not here because he's dead. So I was shocked. I said, see, I got these boots only last Wednesday. Then that man says, yes, the old man starved himself. That is, he used to work without eating. And the doctor also said he died because of slow starvation. He went on working without eating. And he wouldn't allow anyone else to touch the boots. He would think that it would not be perfect. So he used to do all the work by himself. And he used to work so hard. He used to not bother about, compromising on quality. And that's why he died. So again, he says, when he got an order, it took so much time. Nowadays, people don't want to wait. So they went off. He never advertised. He never looked at the leather. He wants to do everything with the best leather. Whereas others, they don't use the best material. So in the such condition he could not survive anymore, and that's why he died. He was a good character, he made good books, but he unfortunately he didn't know how to survive according to the situation. So this man feels very sad. Oh, he died because of starvation. He was such a good person and he made such good books. So when you see about his death, what you understand is that he was someone who always paid attention to quality. He used the best leather. He made it in the best possible manner. They were the best shoes. And because of all this, because he never compromised on quality and because he never gave advertisement, so he took time to do his work. And because of this, he was not good at business. He could not overcome his competition. So because of his dedication for quality, he lost his business and he had to die, sadly. Here are some word meanings given. That is, you can see in the first picture, a bot is a bylane. You can see what's a leather apron. Incense, that aroma that we get. And guttural. Guttural is a hoarse sound that comes from the back of your throat, like this sound which will probably be made by this buff. Now, do you think that Mr. Gessler was a failure as a bootmaker or a competitive businessman? And what's the significance of the title? To whom or what does it refer? Does it refer to the man? Does it refer to his boots? Now, here are the question answers for you to write in your classwork side. Please pause here and write it inside. This is how to use some phrases like look after, look down, on, look in, look into, look out, look up to. So look is some common to all of them, but when you add another word to that and you make it a phrase, it means something totally different. Look after, take care of someone. Look down on is when we feel that someone is not good enough. Look in is to visit someone for a very short time. Look into is investigate. Police are looking into. Look out, be careful. Like suppose someone is, you're sitting there and someone is coming running. So we may say look out. That's be careful. They may fall on you. Look up is to improve. We can say that slowly after all this COVID, everything has passed, things will start looking up. Look up to is admire. We often look up to our elders, to seniors, all this. Anyway, we admire different people. So you have to use this and fill in the blanks. Please look at these, understand the meaning and mark the answers in your textbook. Now this is a writing work which we will do in class, a writing assignment. See the homework. Let's see Mr. Gessler, his English is very different from the English that we speak. That's because he's of a different nationality. So pick out those parts where he speaks English and rewrite it in correct English or the English as we know it. With that we come to an end of the lesson. Thank you, children.